Welcome in episode 175 on the day the 2023 NFL season begins, the day the Kansas City Chiefs start the defense of their title and their inevitable march to a repeat, and the day that Damonza rejoins the show. You know, he's in LA, and after the first year of the show, while, I tried to give Damonza a lot of credit, we had, 100,000 subscribers. He got the plaque. I'll be honest, I thought it was my doing. But when Damonza left the show 5 months ago, we had 4,000 YouTube subscribers. We now, nearly half a year later, are at 122,000, which means our growth slowed significantly without him. So if we have any hope of getting to 150 or 200,000, we had to bring him back. He's live from Los Angeles. He's locked in on the NFL. Are you ready for this, pal?
Glad to be back and very much so ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, first, here's what missed. Caleb may stay at USC. I don't buy that. Nick Bosa signs a record extension. Chris Jones, unfortunately, does not. And I saw this in the rundown. I didn't know why they put it in there. We are not a pop culture show. We are a sports, gambling, and parenting show.
Dior's
but
gone.
Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner go public. I'm not. I think maybe this was meant for a different Blue Duck podcast, and they tried to fit it into ours. That's not what we're doing any day. It's certainly not what we're doing on the day the NFL season starts. Damonza, before we get to our gambling picks, which are coming in segment 2, a whole new revamped gambling show, let's get to the big stories in the NFL. Go right ahead.
All right, so Travis Kelce went down in practice with a hyperextended knee a few days ago, or leg, whichever. His brother Jason Kelce,
you got it. Yep.
His brother Jason Kelce seems to think that he's going to be fine, and we think that he might play tonight, but we're not 100% sure. So without Kelce 100%, it's not too late to take back your 20-0 Chiefs bet. Are you feeling a little bit of a doubt right now?
Okay, you guys are just trying to bait me into showing the never a doubt tattoo, which I don't mind doing. I can do it. I don't know how to do it on this camera angle. There it is. I'm feeling no doubt. Clark Hunt went on television. The owner of the Chiefs today said he thought Travis might play, but here's the thing. I don't want Travis to play. And it's not even because of the potential for re-injury, because seems like all the sports doctors out there are saying because there was no structural damage, it's a bone bruise after the hyperextension, and because of that, it's more of a pain tolerance thing than a re-injury thing. So it's not that I don't want Travis to play because I'm worried he's going to get hurt again. The guy has been pretty indestructible throughout his career. In the last 9 years, he's missed 3 games. Twice because the Chiefs were so good he didn't have to play the final week of the season, and once because of COVID protocols. He has not missed a game due to injury since his rookie season when he had knee surgery. The reason that I don't want Travis to play is because I want the Chiefs to send a message to the entire NFL. I want, without the best defensive player in the sport, Chris Jones, without the best tight end ever, who's also the biggest weapon in the sport, and against a trendy Super Bowl pick, the frisky Detroit Lions, for the Chiefs to lay the smackdown on them without 2 of their 3 best players, throwing passes to Kadarius Toney and Justin Ross and Noah Gray, and to leave no question whatsoever who the team to beat in the league this year is. Because a very curious thing, Damonza, has happened, which is, I know you've been watching a lot of sports television, consuming a lot of it. You know what I've seen? I've seen a lot of people picking teams not named the Kansas City Chiefs to not only win the Super Bowl, but to win the AFC. I saw the NFL.com, 25 of their 34 picked someone other than the Chiefs on, what was it? No, it wasn't ESPN. Fox Sports, our own company. I'll ask you this, Damonza. We had 15 experts on FoxSports.com picked the Super Bowl. Of those 15, how many do you think had the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? And how many do you think had the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl? Give it a guess.
3 maybe had him in the Super Bowl, 1 had him winning.
Yeah, you almost got it exactly. 4 had him in it, 2 had him winning. 11 of our 15 experts think, they can't even win the AFC. 13 of the 15 say they can't win the Super Bowl. I just saw a screenshot from Get Up, ESPN's morning show. Their 4 experts all picked the Super Bowl. The AFC, 3 of the 4 picked the Niners to win it. 1 picked the Ravens to win it. And the 3 who, so somebody had the Ravens winning the AFC, and the 3 who picked the Niners to win the NFC had them playing in the Super Bowl: the Jets, the Bills, the Bengals. You know what it feels like? Somehow, coming off 17-3, a league MVP, winning the Super Bowl on one leg, nobody believes in us again. Everybody last year. Yeah, we need the bulletin board. So, for all those reasons, I hope Kelce rests, chills out. I also do kind of hope Chris Jones runs out of the tunnel with a contract, get the crowd fired up even though he can't play, like an old school wrestling thing. Like, good God, that's Chris Jones's music. But yeah, I'm not concerned about Kelce long term. He's going to be fine, and it looks like they avoided massive injury. One other note on this before we move on. When I first got to Houston, J.J. Watt was coming off his rookie year in training camp. He hyperextended his elbow, and people were worried, oh my God, he could have torn ligaments. He ended up being very fortunate. There was no structural damage. They're like, oh, we dodged a bullet. He was our first-round pick last year, came on strong at the end of the year. He finished that year with 20.5 sacks and 1 Defensive Player of the Year. So all I'm saying is all-time legendary players, the hyperextension that could have gone terribly, but you avoid injury, ooh boy. Giannis, before the NBA Finals, remember, hyperextended his knee. It looked like, oh my God, he might have torn all his ligaments. He then scored 50 to win the championship and averaged 40 a game for the last 5 games. Great athlete to avoid devastating injury. They can sometimes become more dangerous. Go ahead.
So we got a question from the chat from Jose Lopez.
Oh, wow, already.
He says, Nick, do you believe in jinxes now? Kelce injures his knee the same day that you said that you don't believe in jinxes. Can't be a coincidence, can it?
Do you believe in jinxes, Damonza?
Yes and no. And I don't know how to explain why yes and no. But yes, kind of. I kind of believe in jinxes.
Your sister does.
And I kind of believe that you jinxed Travis Kelce.
Okay. The idea that there is something I could say from half the country away and it impacts Travis Kelce's health of his knee is just nonsense.
It's all about vibes, man.
The
vibe that it puts out into the atmosphere.
I don't believe in jinxes, and I think I proved that by getting a Chiefs-related tattoo saying they're going to go 20-0 and guaranteeing the Super Bowl. Let's talk about tonight's game, Damonza. What's next?
All right, so we talked about long-term for the Chiefs. Let's talk about short-term. Got no pass rush from Chris Jones and no true number 1 target for Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Should we hammer the Lions' money line tonight?
Okay, stop it. Listen, Patrick Mahomes in week 1s averages 38 points a game, has 18 touchdowns, no picks, is 5-0, has a nearly perfect passer rating. The Chiefs' fewest points they've ever scored in a week 1 game under Patrick Mahomes is 33 points. Take that out further.
Wait.
That's true.
The lowest amount?
They've scored 33, 34, 38, 40, and 44. That's what they've done in his 5 week 1 games. So let's go further. Patrick Mahomes in his career in weeks 1 through 4 is 17-3 with 60 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. The Chiefs have won 7 consecutive week 1 games under Andy Reid. I remind everybody, the 1 game Mahomes has played in his career without Kelce, the COVID game, December of 21, against a playoff team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they scored 36 points and Mahomes played perfect football. Oh, Nick, but that team had Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill had 2 catches for 19 yards in that game. Byron Pringle and Derek Gore were the Chiefs' leading receivers. One of those guys is a running back. That the Detroit Lions, and I know Damonza last year, you thought I wasn't giving Goff enough credit. He was awesome at home. On the road, outside of the friendly confines of the perfect weather and the dome and the perfect footing, all of that, all year long on the road, 6 touchdowns, 4 picks, 83 passer rating. Was not great on the road.
But back to the jinxes, man. You keep talking about that.
I'm not worried about the jinxes. I'm not worried about the jinxes.
Just saying,
now,
man.
the Lions might be able to score some points. Now, I think the Chiefs' defense could be very good this year, but obviously they need Chris Jones for that. I know the Chiefs' offense is scoring a minimum of 30 tonight. I'd set the actual total at 38. I think the Chiefs will score 38 tonight without Kelce. Can they win the Super Bowl without Kelce and Jones? Of course not. Can they beat the Lions? Of course they can. At the home opener, dropping the banner. And glass half full is this. If Kelce doesn't play, Kadarius Toney gets more involved, gets the season off to a good start. Yeah, picking up where he left off. Touchdown in the Super Bowl. Sky Moore, who had but a disappointing rookie year, but then scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. He gets the ball more. And Damonza, a guy that you're not familiar with, but America's going to become familiar with. Blue Duck, folks, clip this, please, and let's send it out sometime tonight, right around the time this guy makes a huge play. Justin Ross. So Justin Ross, Damonza, as a freshman at Clemson, in the national championship game, with the Prince who was promised throwing him passes, Justin Ross actually, as a true freshman in the playoffs, had 300 yards in 2 games. As a guy who had just turned 19, he then found out he had some congenital spinal cord thing. And he went from a no doubt first round pick to undrafted. He then, after the Chiefs drafted him, had to have foot surgery. After the Chiefs signed him in undrafted free agency, he had to have foot surgery. And missed a whole year. But at camp this year, Justin Ross, looking like that 5-star kid out of high school. Looking like the 19-year-old that lit the world on fire. Justin Ross, people are going to be like, is that the kid from Clemson? Oh, it is the kid from Clemson. I'm not worried about the Chiefs' offense. Just flatly not worried about it.
Well, I hope this Justin Ross thing works out for you.
Who do you got tonight?
I mean, I'm not going to pick the Lions to win the game, but
there you go. There you go. That's all I needed. Everybody, this is the same thing Broussard does to me on TV. He's like, oh, you're over the top. Oh, this, oh, that. And I'm like, okay, who you got? He's like, oh, I'll take the Chiefs. Exactly. All right, new segment alert. Go ahead.
All right, to start off the football season, let's play a new game. We're going to call this one Planting Your Flag. You make 5 takes each month, and we're actually going to hold you accountable. Oh, we love that. You have to switch 2 takes every month. So if you have 5 great takes, you have to cut 2 good ones. So, plant your flag on 5 things you're sure will happen this year, and we'll revisit this in October.
Okay, so at first I thought these were supposed to be 5 predictions just for the next month. But these are season-long takes that then we're going to adjust every month. Now, this is hard for me. Because as you guys know,
so many great takes.
Mr. Consistency for a reason. So many great takes. Exactly right. It's hard because they're going to ask me to abandon 2 of these takes. A month from now, I'm going to say, so I almost want to throw in some bad ones just so we don't have to abandon good ones. But we won't do that. All right, the first take and the obvious take is everyone over the course of the year is going to realize, oh, shit. The Chiefs did win the Super Bowl in a rebuilding year. and now we have no answers for him. That the Chiefs are going the NFL commentariat is going to have to couch all of their takes with this premise. Well, obviously the Chiefs are the best team, but if something happens to Mahomes, but if, you know what I mean, any given Sunday, but aside from them, it's just going to be a given that the Chiefs are head and shoulders better than everyone. That's the first one. Second one, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to have a top 5 offense. The Jacksonville Jaguars, now I don't want to plant my flag fully on the Jags winning 12 or 13 games. I believe that can happen, but I would like to see the defense first because I know they're going to have a top 5 offense.
Could we get
before I get to
possibly
go ahead.
the 20 is will the Chiefs go in 20-0? Will that make it? Will we plant a flag on that one, or are we not playing flags?
Well, I already did that. I mean, I'm not trying to, I'm trying to give unique things to this show. Yeah, I mean go ahead and add go ahead and add to the Chiefs flag /20-0. That's fine. Yeah, undefeated.
Oh, that's going to be one of the ones that you
so.
take out in like week 3.
No, I'm not going to have to take that out. I'm not going to. Okay, but you know what? That's a good call, Damonza. In case something insane happens and they lose a game, now that's an easy one to remove. Good call.
I figured that was your insurance policy.
All right, the Jets, the big story surrounding the Jets by Thanksgiving, if not sooner, is not going to be can they win the Super Bowl, but is going to be Robert Saleh's job security. And my favorite see the future opinion I've had in years, and I know you're listening, you're like, Nick, you rank your favorite of your own opinions? And the answer to that is, of course I do. And this is maybe my favorite one, is that Saleh gets fired. And I like Robert Saleh as a guy, so I'm not rooting for that. But this is just like my prediction. Just wait for it. Saleh gets fired, and then after the year, Rodgers goes to Woody Johnson and is like, I'm thinking about going back in that darkness retreat, and I don't know if I'm going to play next year. But I'll tell you what, I would really push me in the comeback direction. If you make my old buddy, Nat Hackett, head coach. Nat Hackett, who everybody flamed, but he's the greatest man I've ever known, and go ahead and make him head coach. So that's prediction that's plant my flag number 3. Number 4 is that Kyle Shanahan's indecision and inability to identify a quarterback finally bites him when all of a sudden Sam Darnold is playing for the San Francisco 49ers, and that comes crumbling down. So that the Niners, I still think the Niners could be a playoff team. You like that one a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so listen, the Niners have so much talent, particularly, on both sides of the ball, really, and the NFC is so weak that I think even with a disastrous quarterback situation, they could make the playoffs. But a lot of people think of the Niners this year, what I thought of them last year, which is that they could win, the best team could win the conference. I think Purdy is a little smoke and mirrors, and I don't know that any quarterback under Shanahan's system can stay healthy. Everybody if all your quarterbacks get hurt every year, at some point it might be a bit of the system. And if Darnold gets in there, who he compared to Steve Young, give me a break there. Go ahead.
They're getting hurt in some wild kind of ways, though. I don't know if you can necessarily blame it on the system.
Well, Brock Purdy got hurt because they left Hassan Reddick unblocked because they wanted to send someone out in a route. If I ran DoorDash competitor and everyone was like, oh my God, Nick's company, it's amazing. They get me my food faster than DoorDash or Postmates or Grubhub. How does he do it? And the secret was 13 drivers a week get hit by cars because I have them disobey the traffic signals. At some point, there would be like a push and a pull. Everyone's like, oh my God, Shanahan's system, it's so indefensible. Yet every year, multiple quarterbacks get maimed under it. Like, so, I mean, these things might be at least a little correlated. All right, and then, so I need one more. So that was you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I also have a running list in my head of on-the-fly analogies. That was one of my better ones. All right, last one. Bijan Robinson, as a rookie, is already considered the best running back in football. I'm not even going to couch it on really, really good. Everybody thinks it's going to be really, really good. But Bijan Robinson is widely considered the best running back in the NFL. So we're planting my flag on 20-0 and the Chiefs ruin all football commentary. Hackett hot seat. Jags top 5 offense. Shanahan's quarterback stuff bites him. And Bijan already being the best running back in the NFL. All right. The next thing we're doing here, Damonza, is you were not here because it was your sister's final show. Our schedule for the people watching right now or the podcast audience, because we didn't do a show last Thursday, and I had promised that we would. We didn't do a show all of last week. Kind of screwed up our schedule, so I'd like to apologize for that. That's nobody's fault, just so everybody knows what happened. Last Tuesday, we couldn't do a pod because there was I needed to host Colin's TV show and my TV show, so that it doesn't allow me to do the pod. And then Thursday, we had, there was essentially a meeting that we had to have for the TV show involving some folks who were in from LA and Broussard and Wilds. And the only time the LA folks and Broussard and Wilds, everybody could do it was at this time on Thursday. So I sacrificed the pod. But because of that, everything got pushed back. Damonza was supposed to be here for our season preview show, but I didn't want Diora to not get a farewell show, so that's why we're all kind of condensed right now. I don't know if you guys care about that, but that is, I don't want anybody who's watching right now or listening to think that this is, that I do these things haphazardly, just sometimes life jumps in. So, in the season preview show, we had 8 season win totals that we actually bet. If you want to listen back to that season preview show, you can hear our thoughts on all 32 win totals, but we had 8 that we actually bet. We bet the Bears under 7.5 wins. The Cowboys, instead of taking over 10.5 at minus money, we took them, at over 9.5 at minus money. We took them over 10.5 at plus money. The Jags, we did the same thing. Instead of 9.5, we took them over 10.5 at plus a lot. KC, obviously, over 11.5 because they win 12 every year. The Patriots, over 7.5 because they won 8 games last year with Mac playing worse than he could possibly play in terrible coaching situation. The Eagles, under 11.5 because their schedule's not as soft, and I think they come back to the pack a bit. And it should be noted, no team has won back-to-back NFC East titles in 20 years, yet everyone's penciling the Eagles in for it. The Niners at under 10.5 for the reasons I just mentioned, and the Seahawks at over 8.5 because I think they're going to win the division. Of those win total bets, Damonza, anyone jump out to you that you love or that you really dislike? Anything?
I think New England's going to get more than 7 wins. I think New England off the top is going to get more than 7 wins.
Okay, so you're with me on that because I've got them over 7.5. What else?
Oh, I honestly saw that as a U. Just working out.
Oh, no, that's okay. Don't worry about it. No, the unders that we have are Chicago, Philly, San Francisco.
Yeah,
the other ones are overs.
I saw an opening on the top of it. Yeah, dude, it's that I don't find anything wrong with your win totals. Wait, actually, Chicago under 7.5. I think they can win 9 games this year.
Okay, Damonza loves the running quarterback. Loves him.
I do.
He Justin Fields, Daniel Jones. We're going to get to some Lamar Jackson stuff in a moment. I mean, just loves it. He just can't get enough of the running quarterback. So that
I
actually
just
takes
think
us,
what
takes us.
I saw those couple little screen passes that Justin Fields had over the preseason. I like what I'm seeing.
So
Just get it
feeling
to
on
them before they even
Chicago-
get to the defenders. Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're fine. I agree with you in large part. Here's my feeling on Chicago. They could more than triple their win total from last year. They could increase their win total from last year by 5 wins and hit the under. They could have a great year and hit the under. So I'm going with the under. I think that their ceiling is 7-10. All right, the division winner bets. So I kind of coupled these into 2 groups, which are 3 semi-long shots. I only need to go 1 for 3 to break even, 2 for 3, I make a lot of money. And then 2 not long shots, but not favorites. So the Dolphins to win their division at plus 290, Pittsburgh to win the AFC North at plus 470, and Green Bay to win the NFC North at plus 350. The Pittsburgh bet is the one I want to talk to you about because it's kind of in lockstep with the fact that I have Baltimore missing the playoffs. I know you're very high on the Ravens. Your thoughts?
Well, a couple of things on there. With Miami, I don't even see them winning that division. I honestly think the Jets could win that division. I think that the Jets mean everything that they've been saying. I think that they're going to surprise people. And obviously, the Ravens, you got them missing the playoffs entirely, which is pretty crazy. I think that if Odell Beckham stays healthy the entire year, which is, I don't know if that's a big ask, but
sure,
there's no way that they're missing the playoffs entirely. Like, not enough to be a wild card and at least, like, sneak in. I just don't see that. Steelers winning that division to me is crazy. But,
so,
hey, man.
The argument for the Steelers is last year TJ Watt missed 7 games. He's their best player. Kenny Pickett had a terrible rookie season.
Yeah, they were like mixing and matching with the quarterbacks, I feel like.
Yeah. And they still won 9 games. So with TJ Watt healthy, with Pickett just taking a bit of a jump, can they win 11? I think yes. And I think Cincinnati and Baltimore don't clear 11.
That's exactly what I was about to say. With Cincinnati and Baltimore in there, I don't think it'll matter. But
no, that's fair. Most people agree with you. That's why they're plus 470. And then the other 2 we don't have spend much time on. Atlanta plus 210 to win the division, and Seattle plus 230 to win the division. Atlanta, that's a Bijan Robinson bet and kind of fading the Saints. And Seattle, that is just fully fading the 49ers.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's up with that? The Seattle winning a division that the 49ers are playing in. I get you just said everything that you said about Shanahan's offense and his quarterbacks getting hurt, but at the end of the day,
I just don't believe in Purdy. That's it. It's just flatly, and I think Seattle played more rookies last year than any team in the NFC. So now all of a sudden, I think those rookies have a little more experience. They're even better. So I like Seattle in that spot.
And you don't think with Darnold being the quarterback in the 49ers defense, you don't think that they're capable of winning that division?
No. Okay. Jets had good defenses with him. Carolina had good defenses with him. No, if Darnold is the quarterback, I am certain the Niners aren't winning the division. And then a couple parlays, Damonza, a Jags-Chiefs win the division parlay. You get plus 150 on that. You got to admit, you love that bet. The Jags and Chiefs just win the division, and we get plus 150. And then my long shot one, which is why it's only a quarter unit bet. Pittsburgh, Miami, and Green Bay all to win their divisions. 99-1. How about that? 99-1 on that. See, Damonza hated all 3 of those picks. But now he's going to bet it to happen. 99-1. Damonza might put $15 on 99-1 on the Eagles to win last year's Super Bowl. Like, yeah, it's 99-1. Like, who knows? Maybe they'll find out the game was rigged. All right. Now a make-miss playoffs bet. The first one is similar to the Chiefs-Jags division-winning bets, but we added Dallas. It's just make the playoffs plus 160. Browns, Jets, Detroit to miss the playoffs at plus 755 for a quarter unit. That's just a cursed franchise, miss the playoffs. And then one that I feel very strongly about, and you seem to really disagree. This will be good for the show all year. So you're buying into the Jets hype, Damonza.
I'm buying in. I don't really like Aaron Rodgers, so like I feel like that's saying a lot. I just think that with Aaron Rodgers being in this new situation, the relationship has still got that new car smell. And, like, I think that this is a good switch up for him. And I think that he's gonna be there, like, mentally and physically. I don't think he's going to be checked out. The Jets obviously have a good defense. They got Dalvin Cook. I think that, hey, dude. They do have they obviously do have a tough schedule. Like their first 6 weeks is pretty tough.
Well, the first 6 weeks are brutal. If they come out of the first 6 weeks 3-3, they could be dangerous. I just don't know that they can do that. But the other thing is this. This is the second opinion you've given here, Damonza, where the vast majority of experts agree with you, not me. Like, this is what you're saying is I am way more out of step with mainstream on this than you are. So we'll see. And then my Super Bowl pick, Kansas City, Dallas at 30-1 and Kansas City defeat Dallas at 50-1. Would you like to give a Super Bowl pick here?
So I think it's going to be Ravens-Dallas, and if it isn't Ravens-Dallas, it's going to be Kansas City-Dallas Super Bowl.
Wow.
Those are my picks.
I shouldn't say wow, because Damonza actually told me that last night, but he said it before he knew mine. So before Damonza even knew mine, so he's not like, parroting me here. He said it independent, and it was a little disappointing that it was before he knew mine because I had given that on television on Friday, and Damonza was unaware of it. So it was a little sad for me. But I tried. This is how much Damonza, though, cares about. I'm going to expose you a little bit in a good way. I'm really exposing myself. This is how much Damonza cares about his integrity on this show. When he told me he liked Dallas in the NFC, I tried to cajole him into going with the Giants instead because he's a Daniel Jones guy. And he was like, nah, I can't do it. He's like, I do like Daniel Jones, but I can't pick him to win the Super Bowl.
No, not that, man. And honestly,
have you seen what Greg Jennings has said about Daniel Jones?
Yes.
He's got him as like the seventh best quarterback in the NFL. He's got a lot of faith in Daniel Jones. But go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Hey, man, it seems like he does slowly start to stop making the same mistakes from the previous year. And if he's in that same trajectory, then I think he is going to be a top 10 quarterback this year. I mean,
if he improves, that's correct. If he improves as much between last year and this year as he did between the year prior to last year and last year, then he will be a top 10 quarterback. My concern for him is not even that he flatlines, but that he goes in the other direction. All right. This was fun. We're right in the swing of things, even though it's early morning in LA and we're cross country. Our gambling picks now, just like last year. 5 picks from me every single week. 5 of the last 6 years, I've been a documented winning gambler on either this show or the TV show, however I've done it. Ever since I've been on TV, I've been giving out 3 or 5 picks every week, a documented winning record, and not just winning record, better than 52.4% against the spread, which is the break-even number with the VIG. Also this year, Damonza is going to give us a weekly teaser, and we are going to have a season-long competition. We'll talk about what that is next. Take a quick break, come back. What's right? Welcome back in. What's right with Nick Wright, episode 175, our week 1 NFL gambling show. And just general football kind of recap, preview, get you ready for Lions, Chiefs. And now is time for our 5 picks of the week. My 5 picks of the week plus Damonza's weekly teaser. And sometimes Damonza's teaser, depending on if he's doing a 2, 3, 4, 5 team teaser, I have a feeling, I don't know what this week's is, but I have a feeling before we get to Halloween, we're going to have debuted a few 6-team teasers. So the teasers that aren't 2-teamers are plus money. But whatever it is, we are going to keep track on a unit basis how profitable I am versus how profitable Damonza is, and it will be a season-long contest. So it has nothing to do with amount we bet, because Damonza and I are going to obviously bet different unit sizes. So we're just going to normalize it. We're going to we're going to treat them all as one unit bets and go from there. But before we get to Damonza's teaser, just like we did last year, my 5 picks every single week. Damonza, what's my first one?
All right, so first off, you got Jags -4.5 at Indy. Let's talk about that one.
Okay. So listen, do you just want to go ahead and give all the reasons that this is a terrible bet that the producers have put in the notes?
Let's do it. So you went 1-7 betting on the Jags last year. We all remember that.
Okay. But that is only because the producers bullied me out of betting on them the moment they started their hot streak. I bet on the Jags basically every week. The producers made me stop, and then they immediately became the hottest team in the NFL. It was ridiculous. So that should be more like 7-7, but they wouldn't let me do it. Go ahead.
All right. Well, Trevor is 4-14 on the road straight up. It's pretty big.
Don't care about that. Doesn't matter. That includes the Urban Meyer era. And lastly, go ahead.
Last thing, the Jaguars haven't won in Indy since 2017. That is when I graduated high school, by the way.
Okay, I don't care about any of that. Here's what I know. We believe in the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is Anthony Richardson's first start. I understand this is I am taking a road dog as my first pick of the year. I'm sorry, road favorite, pardon me, as my first pick of the year. And it goes against all these trends. Don't care. The Jags are going to score 31 points. Indy's going to be happy to get to 17. I love this bet. Go ahead.
No fear in your heart that Anthony Richardson might be the next Daniel Jones? Because, he might have a breakout game and destroy your Jags. So he's a pretty good quarterback.
I do think Anthony Richardson was a good pick, and his upside is massive. I don't think he's going to look good in his first NFL start.
Does that ever happen, by the way?
Yeah, so Cam in his first ever NFL start, I think, had 400 yards. But Cam also was coming off a Heisman Trophy and undefeated season, being the consensus #1 overall pick. Cam, his first NFL start ever, 422 yards and 3 total touchdowns.
What a feeling.
I know, it's unbelievable. He walked into the NFL after having arguably the single greatest college season anyone's ever had. He walked into the NFL and was just dominant. On the flip side, Jameis Winston, in his first ever NFL start, had 2 picks and 2 fumbles. Marcus Mariota, who was the #2 pick of that draft in his first ever NFL start, completed 87% of his passes with 4 touchdowns. So there are certain instances where guys have awesome first starts. I don't think Anthony Richardson's going to do that. I think Trevor's going to be awesome. I like the Jags. Next.
All right, next you've got New England at home +4 versus Philly.
Okay. The entire gambling world is going to be on Philadelphia. The Patriots' offensive line is banged up. The Eagles have this amazing pass rush. The Patriots looked terrible last year. Why is this line not higher? Here's what I know. Belichick, I don't want to say he's on the hot seat. What I will say is he really wants Don Shula's record. And he needs to have either 2 more good seasons or 3 more mediocre seasons to get there. I don't know if Kraft is going to give him that time if they're a disaster this year. Philly coming off the Super Bowl hangover. I'm getting points at home with the better coach. The crowd is going to be insane because they are retiring Brady's jersey and putting him in the Ring of Honor, all of that. So I know the graphics right now say Jacksonville, but in New England, getting 4 points, I don't need them to win. I just need them to keep it close. New England getting 4 points against Philadelphia. What do the producers think of that one, Damonza?
Well, since 2000, teams that lost in the previous season's Super Bowl are 4-19 against the spread in the week one following of the following season.
That's good. What's the other note?
The other note is Hurts is 13-5-1 against the spread at home, but only 6-13 against the spread on the road.
Oh, so I don't have access to these little factoids when I make my picks because I don't want to be swayed by the trends. But it sounds like as much as the Sharps might not have liked my Jacksonville pick, the New England pick, I could be on the right side of it. What's the next one?
All right. You've got Green Bay plus 1.5 at Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, they're the far better team. They have the better coach. They have, for this game, potentially the better quarterback. This might be one of the only games all year, Green Bay. We'll see. Listen, I think Justin Fields might end up being really good, but he struggled massively throwing the football last year.
His passing was spotty.
The Packers, and I think Jordan Love will be solid just from being able to sit for 3 years. The Packers, I think, are super motivated. The Packers had their spouse of 15 years leave them, immediately get in shape, start going to the gym, get some things worked on, and start telling the whole world how much they love their new girlfriend. So they're motivated. The Packers' defense is good. The running game is good. Their weapons are good. I think Green Bay wins this game outright. I like the Packers a lot. Go ahead.
Was Jordan Love sacked at any point this preseason?
I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't think he was.
I'm not sure.
I don't think he was. I think the big thing for him this preseason is he got no pressures. What if the Chicago Bears come and sack him and rattle him like they did Purdy?
No, that's fair, but I don't trust the Bears defense at all. The Bears defense was terrible last year. I know they invested some in it, but you can't remake your entire team in one offseason. They got DJ Moore, the wide receiver. They invested in the offensive line. That defense still going to be spotty. I like Green Bay in that spot. And what was my record last year, Damonza, betting road dogs?
You were 25-14-1.
So I was 62.5% against the spread betting road dogs, and actually a little higher if you include the tie as a half win. All right, next one.
So you've got Buffalo minus 2.5 at the Jets.
Yeah. I was the first part. I was the only. Let's just be clear.
Got faith in the Bills this year. Your hate for Rodgers has fueled some love for the Bills. I love it.
So here's the thing. I knew that was going to be the reaction. Let's just be totally honest here. I was the only person in America correct on the Bills last year. The only one. While everybody was saying I was afraid of them. Josh Allen is at worst the second best quarterback in football, maybe the best. The Bills are the best team. They were the Vegas favorite. All of it. All year long. I told you that was a paper tiger. And what happened come the playoffs? They survived Skylar Thompson by the skin of their teeth, and then they got their teeth kicked in by Cincinnati. I am now here to tell you the general public has gone too far in the other direction on the Bills. Now you look around, a lot of folks have the Bills missing the playoffs. That's not going to happen. Now, I don't think they win the division. I think Miami does. But the Bills.
So you think Buffalo's going to be a wild card?
Yeah. Okay. And my playoff teams are division winners. Kansas in the AFC, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, Miami. And my wild cards are Buffalo, Cincinnati, and the Chargers. With the Jets and the Ravens, Broncos, Browns missing the playoffs. The Patriots as well, obviously. The Bills are better than the Jets. I understand that the Jets have home field here, but I am laying less than a field goal. So it's going to be very hard for the Bills to win and not cover. So while I don't love road favorites, less than a field goal I feel better about, and the Bills are better, and the Jets, I'm telling you right now, man, on the Jets, Damonza, here's what's going to happen. The Jets are going to lose on Monday Night Football. 6 days later, they're going to go to Dallas, and that Dallas defensive front is going to sack Aaron Rodgers a half dozen times. And immediately, panic will set in New York because they will know in week 4 they have the Chiefs. And all of a sudden, they will be facing a must-win week 3 game against the Patriots, which, yes, obviously the Jets should win that game, but the Patriots have beaten the Jets 14 consecutive games. And all of these good vibes, good feelings, all of that is going to turn in 6 days between Monday night and the following Sunday. Go ahead.
Something important of note. Rodgers has won 9 straight Monday Night Football games. He's 6-1-1 against the spread as a home dog. And also,
so that,
the Bills,
hold on, real quick. Rodgers, what that means is Rodgers has only been a home dog 8 times, which is crazy. Think about that. How long he's been a quarterback. And he has only been an underdog at home 8 times. And that's not Monday Night Football. That's his whole career.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking initially.
No. I wonder how many of those were his first year as a starter. He's probably only been a home dog since that first year, maybe 4 or 5 times. That's unbelievable. All right, go ahead.
The Bills at 14-6 are the most profitable team in week 1 in the last 20 years.
Okay, that's the type of stat I don't actually care about, but it helps me in this case, so I'll take it. All right, last one.
All right, so you've got Pittsburgh plus 2.5 versus San Fran.
Okay, so this is the lock of the week, the right move. It is also something I'm going to go ahead and tell you, wait to bet. If it moves to 2, it doesn't kill you, but it could, especially now that Nick Bosa has signed. If it becomes fully confirmed he's 100% playing, maybe it moves to 3 and you get that super useful extra half point. But that Pittsburgh defense against what could be a gun-shy Brock Purdy and the Niners in Pittsburgh, Tomlin coaching, I like Pittsburgh. This is my favorite bet of the week. I think the line is wrong. I think Pittsburgh is as good as San Francisco this year, and they are at home and they're getting points. This is also, I don't know if it's on your, you've already submitted your teaser card. I don't know if this is on there, but this is as perfect of a teaser leg as there is, because you would get them through all the key numbers, through 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. And obviously the biggest numbers are 3, 6, and 7, but 4 and 8 are kind of nice. So I love Pittsburgh here. So, Damonza, what do the stats say on this?
Mike Tomlin is 14-5-2 against the spread and 13-8 outright as a home underdog. With TJ Watt in the game, Steelers were 8-2 against the
straight
spread
up
last year.
And against the
straight
spread.
up, yeah,
Both.
Like improv. And the right move went 6-11 last year.
I know. I almost thought about getting rid of it this year. I almost thought of just doing just 5 picks, but we're gonna have to redeem ourselves on the right move. All right, are you ready for this teaser? Because I'm ready to hear it, and I'm ready
for the teaser, and I'm can't wait for you to hear it.
Let me hear it. Yeah.
All right, so this week's teaser.
Hold on, I don't want to step on
place it now.
I don't want to step on your segment, but before you tell us the teams, tell us how many team and how many points. So like a 3-team, 6-point.
It's a 3-team, 6-point teaser.
Oh, it is. Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. So what is it? Plus 140? Plus 130, does it say?
Plus 140.
Okay, 3-team, 6-point teaser, plus 140. All right, go.
We're teasing the Cincinnati Bengals down from 2.5 to plus 3.5, or I guess up.
Oh no.
And then listen,
no.
We're teasing Tampa Bay +6 up to 12. And then we're teasing the Raiders +4 up to 10 versus the Broncos. Tampa Bay will be playing the Vikings, by the way. Sorry for not giving the full layout. And Cincinnati will be playing the Cleveland Browns. Listen, I'm not here to tease through key numbers. I'm here to win the teaser. If this didn't follow your teaser strategy, I apologize. But trail me on this one, guys. We're getting money at the end of the week. So at some point, money will enter your FanDuel account if you place this teaser.
Okay. All right. So
what don't you like?
Here's the thing. All right. I don't mind the Vegas one. And you are at least getting it through.
I think Vegas they could win that game.
And you're getting it all the way to 10. And just so everybody knows, if you do a 3-team teaser and one leg pushes, like let's say Vegas loses by 10, it just reduces your teaser to a 2-team teaser. So like let's say you were to get Cincinnati and Tampa correct, Damonza, and Vegas were to lose by 10, then instead of being a 3-teamer at +140, it would turn into a 2-teamer at -130, but you still win. So that one I don't mind. Tampa, I actually like. I don't know if it's, ideal value, but I actually like it.
The Cincinnati one is where it gets chippy. I get it.
I have a lot of trepidation. I have a lot of trepidation on it. You're teasing through the 0. You are only getting one key number. I guess my point is this, Damonza. Just real quick. Because it feels to me like you added the Bengals because you needed another leg. Because here's my opinion on it. Right now it's Cincinnati -2.5. You are buying those 6 points. You think the only way...
I just think that Cincinnati's going to win the game.
Right. No, I understand that. But my point would be, No, if they win by anything, you win anyway.
No, it's not about Browns. Because
you think Cincinnati's going to win, and you're taking them from -2.5 +3.5. The only way you got value there is if the game either ends with the Browns winning by 1, 2, or 3, it being a tie, or Cincinnati winning by 1 or 2. Otherwise, you'd have been better off just betting Cincinnati -2.5. But again, it's your teaser.
Wait, I was just about to say, it definitely says Damonza's teaser up there. We don't need a Nick Wright explanation.
Right.
I will say that was the one that I was the most shoddy about. But it was the first one that I picked in the teaser though. But it's
okay. Listen, pal, I'm good with it. You do know, and I'm not trying to encourage this.
Wait. And Joe Burrow's playing. He's playing.
Joe Burrow's playing. He's playing. You do know that there are 7, 10, and 13-point teasers as well, right?
I know that you could go up, but then that's less money.
Exactly. No. And the every 10-point teaser that's ever been placed looks like, how can it lose? Like, how is it possible that this possibly loses? Okay, so here's what we're going to do as part of this. I'm going to give each of these teasers a sharp square grade. And then in addition to seeing how profitable you are at the end of the year, we're going to see how much the wins and losses correlate with my grade, okay? So I am going to give this a grade of a B-. Vegas is solid. Tampa's not bad. And the fact that you are teasing the dog, I like a lot. Cincinnati brings the grade down. If you, in place of Cincinnati, you had Pittsburgh +8.5, this might be an A teaser. But you know what? I'm actually pretty proud of you. All right, what's the offer this week?
All right, return of the offer, man. This is where I cook up a long shot bet, and you decide if it's fun or not. Or if you're fun or not, should I say. The Chiefs to score 2+ touchdowns in every single regular season game this year at +500. Do you accept?
So that is one of yes, I accept. I accept. It's a totally square bet, but I accept. So FanDuel has this version, this type of bet for every team. The Chiefs to score 1+ touchdown in every game this year is -200, which is they're saying it's almost not a guarantee, but close to it. What I find hilarious is this. The Chiefs to score at least 2 touchdowns in every game is 5-1. The Cardinals to score at least 1 touchdown in every game is 6.5-1. So they're like, and they have this for every team. But yes, I actually like that offer. That's a smart offer. And last year, that offer would have paid. That offer.
Wait.
No, well, you know what? No, it wouldn't have. Because the Colts game, I think the Chiefs only scored 1 touchdown. Go ahead.
Funny stat. Did the offer hit more than the right move last year? I think that like might be a thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. It did. All right, quick break. We answer. Oh, I should have been telling you guys this. Gosh darn it. Leave your bets in the chat, and I'll tell you if I think they're sharp or square. We're doing that next. Quick break. Right back. What's right? All right, sharp or square time now, as you guys send in some bets you've been making. And, I'll tell you, look, that's a funny,
wow.
That's a good graphic.
Minecraft. I love it.
That's a good graphic. Our YouTube audience is really in for a treat today. We'll discuss whether or not they're sharp or square. All right, the first one, Chad Howland has the Texans +10. I mean, it's not a bet I would make, but you're obviously on the sharp side. It's almost never the sharp side to take a massive favorite. So you're on the sharp side. And it's pretty hard for any individual point spread bet to be super square. The square bets are the more convoluted parlays or certain teasers, things like that. Damonza, but you like the Ravens -10 against Houston more than the Texans +10, correct? Or you don't know?
Yeah, I honestly think -10. I'd go with the -10. Rookie quarterback. Texans sucked last year. Yeah.
So the reason, I mean, this is a stay away for me because every once in a while, new head coach, which Texans have, D'Amico Ryans over from San Francisco, you know what I mean? They pop just to start the year. And sometimes rookie quarterbacks pop early and then come down to earth a bit. But I do like so I'd stay away from it, but I think you're probably on the right side of it. Jay Romig says the Bears money line. So here's the thing. Even though I like the Packers in that game, the reason that I would say that is a square bet is this. The Bears are, I'm going to get you the exact, the Bears are -1.5 at essentially -104. Or the money line is -120. So is it worth it to pay 16 cents of juice to go from -104 to -120 just so you win if the Bears win by 1 point exactly? So I would say if you like the Bears, bet them -1.5 rather than just to win. That way you're getting, you're not paying -120 on the juice, you're paying -104. Like that's, to me, the money line there doesn't make a ton of sense. Similarly, if you're betting the Packers, rather than getting them +1.5 at -120, I would just bet them on the money line. And the only way that screws you is if the Packers lose by 1 point exactly. Zach Eisen says the Chiefs -4.5 parlayed with their team total over 29.5. I mean, technically that's a square bet, but I love it. I totally agree. I think that if the Chiefs are going to cover, they're going to do it by scoring a bunch of points. So I don't mind that bet at all. Tony and Pacheco anytime touchdown scorer. So Damonza, this is where I'm going to just be kind of hypocritical. These are square bets that I love. They're like all fitting my agenda. of the Chiefs.
Tony and
rolling
Pacheco
tonight.
both getting a touchdown.
Of the Chiefs.
Tony and
rolling
Pacheco
tonight.
both getting a touchdown.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say those are two of the most likely guys to get the ball in a touchdown situation. They don't really have much, like you said.
I agree with you entirely. In fact, let me just see
T. Ross, forgot
what
about
that
that guy.
would pay. So, oh yeah, Justin Ross. What is he to score?
J. Ross.
Plus 470. Ooh. All right, Pacheco and Tony parlayed. You get 5-1. I mean, it's a square bet, but I don't hate it. And then Dylan Damoza says, my bet, the over on points in every Lions game. Defense isn't stopping anyone. Offense is going to let it fly. Shootouts every week. So here's the thing.
At home.
That sounds like something our producers or Damonza would have said last year. Like, they got an awesome offense, bad defense. Obviously, it's an over.
Might be
as
exactly
if that is,
something that I said last year.
Right. As if that is inside information. Like, guys, I figured it out. Vegas is late to the party on this. The Lions score a lot, and they allow a lot, so let's bet the over. Folks, the people setting the lines are aware of these things and set them accordingly. So that is the definition of a square gambler's thinking. And then lastly, Holden Davis asks, what kind of impact do you think the Bosa contract around the Chris Jones negotiations? I don't think it obviously won't help, but I don't think it hurts it much because in the NFL, you negotiate versus other guys of your position. And defensive ends have always made more than D tackles, but it probably doesn't help because Chris Jones sees Nick Bosa just got 5 years, $170 million, and he wants a 2-year fully guaranteed $34 million contract. The Chiefs have offered him a 2-year fully guaranteed $54.5 million contract, and now it's dragging into the season, which is a total bummer. All right, that's episode 175. Damonza, how'd this feel? I thought it went great.
I thought it went very well. I felt great about it.
I was a little nervous because we're bi-coastal that like there would be too much talking over each other, delay or whatever. If this is as clunky as it ever gets, we are rolling. Your background looks great. You look great. Things are going wonderfully. TV show's on fire. Very happy, very excited for football. The Chiefs are going to roll. We will see you guys on Tuesday as we recap Week 1 of the NFL. And be ready, Damonza. I don't know what your TV setup is like at home, but you might have to do some split screening because you know what's also happening Sunday during the late afternoon football slate? Woo-hoo. Men's final, U.S. Open. Could have Djokovic Alcaraz. Could have an American man in there. Oh, a tennis corner coming back on Tuesday. Talk to you guys then. What's right? Hey, it's Nick Wright. Thank you so much for watching. Please do us a favor. Click subscribe. It helps my ego, and Damonza's got a financial bonus writing on a number of YouTube subscribers, so help him out. And also, click the bell. I don't know what the bell does, but they tell me to tell you to click the bell. And if you're audio listeners, people that have commutes, drives, whatever it is, subscribe to the podcast as well, wherever you get the podcast. Same show, just in your ears instead of through your eyes. All that. Check it out. Appreciate y'all.